Pennas. I got bros and then I took some dope lean and a panda. Pandas, welcome to the stream. Welcome. Good morning. We just finished the pre-market show. Always have a great time there. Hopefully one day you guys can join us there. Especially if you're already joining the stream this early. It'd be nice to see you guys there. Kyle Lubers, Will Curtis, SW Blaze, welcome. Good morning from Chicago, Tanner. Good morning. I've got my charts open, my coffee, panda snacks, and I'm ready to talk about Michael Chin. Let's go, baby. Michael Chin is back. Back from the dead. Hey, we owe a lot to him. We do. We really do. Jeez. Look at this channel. It's just... if it works too well, it's a little weird, actually. If it bites too much in the channel, it feels a little weird. It feels a little fabricated. Chin back in the house, right? Make sure you guys scalp that like button. Drop a GM in the chat with your location. Good morning from Alberta, FZen. Welcome, guys. Today is the last day for BBM 80. Make sure you take advantage of it. How frustrating is this? Where the overnight session, this is the overnight session. Crazy volatility, big movement, some setups that we got here, and then the regular trading hours is this. Just a slow, weird grind up, lots of choppiness, setups hard to come by, staring at the markets, going super slow. And that overnight session, we get this decent push up, and then maybe the regular trading hours, nothing's gonna happen. It kind of makes sense because this Wednesday, if you guys are not aware, this Wednesday, tomorrow, what I'm saying, wow, just wow. Sounds like realization. Good morning. Emmanuel Martinez says, I discovered channel because of Michael Chin. Hey, Michael Chin, thank you so much. Exponential Trader, good morning from Massachusetts. Richard Harris, good morning. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for the sub. Thank you for the sub. Good morning, guys. Good morning. scalp that like button if you haven't already. Today is Tuesday. Let's look at the daily chart real quick before we start. So we're gonna expand big and then get smaller and smaller. We are in a trading range, potential trading range on the daily chart. And what we got here is a fail second entry short, believe it or not. Fail second entry short, two-legged pullback here. First pullback, first entry, second pullback, second entry. And now that reverses and we actually broke above to the top here. Breaking back above the 20 EMA. Now, this setup may not happen, but maybe second entry long to the upside. This may be what we're looking for, especially when we have a break of trend to new low. And this break of trend also has a moving average gap of the 20 EMA. So this break of trend is strong enough to actually go above the 20 EMA, close above it, and create a bar where the entirety of the bar is above the 20 EMA. Like the low, there's a gap here. What I mean by moving average gap is that there's a gap between the moving average and the low, right? There's a gap here showing the strength, right? Saying the bulls are saying, hey, we're still here, we're still around, and now we're making a second attempt above the 20 EMA. And on an even higher time frame, actually, let me, did I adjust this? I don't know. Yes, it's adjusted. On the higher time frame, this is the weekly chart. What that ends up becoming is just a two-legged pullback, two-legged move. Right? That's why we look for that break of trend to new low, because on the daily chart, break of trend to new low is just a weekly two-legged pullback. The bottom of the trading range, maybe come back up to the top of the trading range here, and we could get wild. I mean, we could break above and start an uptrend. Really, we could. That's the tough things about trading ranges. You just don't know if we're going to keep bouncing back and forth on them. But that's what we're seeing on a daily chart. Break a trend to new low with a trap trade at the bottom of a trading range. It looks bullish to me, pandas. Like the price action looks bullish to me on the daily chart. What can I say? It really does look bullish. Now, is the price action telling me what might happen after the FOMC? Maybe we might be getting some hints here. But right now, this looks like a bullish type setup. Especially if we close above 20 May, then yeah, I mean, it looks bullish. What can I say? It does look bullish. It does look bullish. And like on a really big time frame, and we got a break of this large trend here. This channel has been there for basically the beginning of last year, and we've been going on for a while. And we broke out and retest the trend line, and we may come out. So basically a breakout pullback retest. So that's what we're seeing on the daily chart, pandas. I say that because when we look at the intraday charts, it may give us an idea if we might have a bull trend day or not. And it can help us if we can see a bias on the daily chart. Perhaps it can, give us some clues on what might happen today on the intraday. We're already kind of breaking above the previous days. Let's create this triangle here, essentially, and broke out to the upside. Broke out to the upside here. What to do? Interesting. I don't know. This is like it's a channel, and it's like really nicely trading in this channel. Pandas, hope you guys are doing well. Let me know what kind of day you think it might be today. Honestly, like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm having a hard time trading this market. As in, I'm not really finding good setups, and it's just draining me in terms of mental capital, and I'm just you know, it's just tiring. Just to look at the charts all day and just not really find any good setups. And the reason being is because I think the market's waiting for the FOMC. But the problem is that the market is moving. It's just moving at, you know, maybe in the overnight session, or if it does move, we just don't find really good setups. And it's just a hard market to be able to pay attention to the entire time. Just wait for that one or two setups the entire day. It's just very difficult. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Today is the last day for BBM 80. Make sure you guys take advantage of that if you haven't already. But I'm just saying, tomorrow, you know, when a couple more people come, we'll talk about what I think about tomorrow and how crazy it actually might be. It might be a dud. Who knows? Truly, I think not. I think it's gonna go crazy tomorrow, but who knows? Who really knows? I'm just hoping today's market's not just super slow. I hope we get some good setups here. Trap may trigger here, but not interested. It's way too choppy. But we're clear above the 20 EMA, so you may have some reason to do this, but I'm going to skip it. I find setups like this are very difficult when it starts to get super choppy like this. Market's about to open in 2 minutes. A lot of you guys think, hey, 50% of you guys think it's going to be a bull trend day today. That's pretty bold. Bull trend, maybe because we're already up. We're already up, you know, how many points from the previous day's close? We already hit the 33 points away from it, around 34 points. More pandas. Make sure you scalp that like button. We're on an uptrend right now. What can I say? It's a second entry long here, and you skip this because it's just too far from 20 MA. Even though it's going with trend, you might be eager to join. You gotta skip it. Trap does trigger here. Trap triggers with trend, but it's just too choppy. Got one more minute. Who knows? We got a strong bull trend day today. I don't know. Right now, all I see is this bull channel, and waiting for like a break. And I guess we technically had a break here, but it's not one that I necessarily can trade. This trap does end up working out amazingly. It's such a risky trade, but it does work out. All right. 60% of you guys think bull trend, trading range 33%. Interesting. No one thinks bear trend. I don't think bear trend either. If you don't think it's gonna be a bear trend, maybe you can sell some puts. Is that how you do it? Sell some puts. Trap. If you think it's gonna be a trading range or a bull trend day today, you can sell some puts on the market. 0-day expirations. Not financial advice. I just think that's the strategy you would do. We are in an uptrend here. It's quite a move. Quite a move. Four pushes up. Just watching this go up without me. I have no setup here, really. Maybe a two-legged pullback. Back to the 20 May. All right, pandas. As this floats up and doesn't give us much here, it's actually, the markets have been so frustrating the last, like, I was honestly like 5 months. I feel like the market has been very, very frustrating last 5 months. Like, really, the market's been very frustrating the last 5 months. I know that seems like a long time, but I think the daily chart shows what kind of price action we've been having in the last 5 months here. Give me a pullback somewhere to the 20 May. By the time it might happen, it might be too late. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. If you're just joining, drop a GM in the chat. Make sure you scalp that like button. Thanks for joining, everybody. Market is open, and we are just waiting for a setup here. Am I looking for a second entry long? That is a question. A, B, C coming off the 20 MA and also off for trend line in this uptrend that looks like it really doesn't want to end. Or we could have an opening reversal here. That could happen as well. We may get an opening reversal Just a reversal right at the open, and it just might crash the entire day. I don't know. Look at the daily chart. Does not look like this will be a bear trend day today, though. It really looks like we're gonna have a bull trend. Bull trend or trading range, but. And today is a day before the FOMC. So let me tell you right now what my thoughts are on tomorrow. And I tell you that right now because this might affect the market right now, today. We could be having, maybe just a low volume day in general. This is so choppy. So if I take the second entry long, it will be in chop. Let me get second entry long here. We may get it. Just anticipating it. My setup. Coming off the 20 man, maybe off our trend line. Maybe if we get it pushed a little bit further, so I can treat this like a trading range and we fail breakdown, come back up into it. I may treat it like that. Okay, so we lost our. No, technically we still haven't lost it. This game very choppy though. Just waiting. I'm just waiting. Strong bull bar on the 5-minute chart, ending near its high. 5-minute chart. It's a strong bull bar ending on its high. We may get our second entry long here, pandas. Do I want it? It is choppy. It is choppy. We may get an opening reversal. This might be one of those trades that, like, I'd rather take the reversal. I might go long and then take the reversal if it does reverse on me. Like, I'm already thinking about taking reversal if it does happen in this area, just because it could be an opening reversal. Almost makes me want to just wait for the reversal now, but the problem is I feel like I might just miss a good second entry long. And look at how choppy it's been. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 overlapping bars, and they're small, tight range. So this is kind of like what I would like to see, where we're actually touching the 20 MA, and where we're kind of creating this trading range, and this could be a potential failed breakdown. You can see the 20 MA starting to kind of flatten here, making it scary to go long. Really pick a direction. I'm gonna regret this, huh? If I go long here, I feel like I'm gonna regret this. I'm gonna take the reversal if it does reverse. If reverses,
tick trap.
Second entry long off the 20 MA in an uptrend, but I'm already ready for the reversal. If it does happen, I'm ready to come in with the reversal here. Opening bar, opening reversal here. The risk is very small, so I don't mind taking this. It's a second entry long in an uptrend. Maybe fail breakdown of this trading range here. The risk is small, so again, I don't mind losing it. I will take the reversal like I mentioned. If it does reverse here, I'm already ready for it.
$10,000 tick trap.
And I'm doing this as an opening reversal possibility here. The risk is so small, I don't mind this at all. You can take the reversal if it does happen. It's getting choppy. What can I say? In this reversal, I actually reversed my trade there. And I typically don't do that, but here I'm doing it on purpose because I feel like we can have an opening reversal and I'm going to try to attempt a nice trade here. Let's see if we get it. It might be a double trap here, creating a second entry long, higher low second entry long, but I like the reversal. I'm not going to reverse it again. This is the only time I'll do that. I'll just do a reversal, and I'll take the hit if it does, and I'll move on next trade. Surprisingly, you're still okay in this trade because this is your signal bar, and we haven't broke underneath it yet. So you're still safe if you went long here. You're actually still in this trade. But for me, I already had in my mind that I will take the reversal if it does happen. And at this point, I'll probably try to break even if I was still long here and I didn't reverse it. I will probably try to break even at this point. But usually reversals, you never want your trade to reverse like this. If you're long, you never want to see this. So you just lost your trade if you were long here. I might lose both of them. I might lose on both sides, which sucks, but part of the plan for me. Just watching. It's getting so choppy. At this point, I almost want to just come out and skunk this trade, come out break even. It's just too choppy. No real good direction, and almost reversed again on me. You can come out break even and skunk it at any point. I'm going to hold on to this one because I had this one on purpose. I'm going to reverse it. It was intentional reversal for me here. For that opening reversal. Decent push down here. Still no joy on my scalp. Still waiting for my scalp. The market is just moving so small. Like the volatility is very low here. It's almost painful to watch, painful to hold this trade. I'm already in 1, 2, 3 candles already, and I still haven't made my scalp yet, and it's not looking pretty. This is not looking too good. Like, you would want your scalp. Think about scalps. You want them to be quick, and the fact that this is not quick, it's just painful. It's painful to be in this trade. Painful to look at this price action, and it's just not, it's not enjoyable in any sense here. It looks like we may get filled here, which is nice, but still very painful to watch. Touches my target, tickles it, it's tickling it, it's just tickling me, teasing me. If I really don't like the price action, I can take off my risk here and let it, and I can come out with a small reward because it could trap me again here, which looks like it might be trying to do here. So now the fact that it did that, I'm gonna come out at break even here and just skunk this trade because it reversed here. I do not want to stay in this trade. I'm going to come out break even. Came out break even on the trade because it reversed again, and I'm just not dealing with a double trap, triple trap like that. Triple trap at this point. It's a trap here, trap here, trap here. So I just come out break even. I move on, and we'll look for the next trade. So whenever the trade does reverse, I just get out. I came out break even, and I'm even losing on commissions right there, but it's all good. It's worth it for me because when you see the trade reverse, you never really want to be in this trade. It does tickle my target, it does touch it, but now look at how strong it's moving up. So this is why I skunk my trades. When it does reverse at all, I just come out break even. So I'm down a little bit because I did lose about a point here, but that's about it. I think it's actually showing my loss with commissions included. Interesting. That's kind of nice. So you can see how much I'm losing on commissions as well. I mean, it doesn't matter because you can see my account on the top left. So this is a little more accurate, right? You can see my commissions. You can see everything here. Very choppy, very ugly price action. Like 11 overlapping bars here. You got about 10 overlapping bars here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 overlapping bars here. It's just very confusing and it just doesn't look good. And look at how many traps we've had. We actually have a trap here, 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 here. We already have about 6 traps, maybe 7 traps right here. Sitting on my paws though at this point. It's just too ugly, the price action. And look how nasty that is, right? It stops you out coming this way, right? If you went long here, you got stopped out. Doesn't even make a scalp. And then reverse a scalp, it stops you out here because you have your stop loss right above these candles. It takes you out and then goes down. That's how vicious the market is. They do not care. They do not care. They don't care about you losing money. They're here just to move around, mess you up. Good morning, guys. Free paper cuts. Welcome.
5-minute trap.
Dr. Lena. Facts. GC Burke. Good morning from Texas. Richard Harris. I believe that facts was referring to me saying the price action has been terrible the last 5 months. Patsy, Trump could also affect the market today. I have possible MM target. All right, Stephen Milan. Northern Turtle. Good morning. Stephen Milan. Good morning. Salvatore. Good morning. Terrible price action. Stay away from that. Yep. Richard Harris. Thoughts and prayers to me. Appreciate it. Stephen Milan. Save your bullets for tomorrow. Cody says no money better than lost money. Absolutely true. Stephen Milan. Do you ever use market? Ever use market if touched orders to prevent touch with no fill on limit orders? Do you use market? I'm not sure you're asking. Do you ever use market if touched orders to prevent the touch with no fill on limit orders? I'm guessing you're asking, do I just get out once it touches my target? No, I don't actually do that. Maybe I never thought about doing that. Iron Cruise EM flat. Yes, it is. EMA flat like the Earth. Exactly. Earth is very flat. There's a slight curve to it, but it's very flat otherwise. Passing 2 leggy to the upside, potentially forming on 10K. Okay. 10K chart, just
10,000 tick,
looking
10,000
ugly
tick
here.
trap.
The market is just so ugly, and it's almost untradeable right now. Iron Cruise, news of 15. John Yunan, good morning. Les Hodges, welcome to the stream, guys. GC market if touched is a type of order. Oh, okay, I got it. Yeah. So touch and it just turns to market order. Yeah, I've never done that. Never used that. Perhaps I should, but here I didn't. The problem with that, I feel like it's almost, you're gonna get slippage more than not if that does happen. I would understand doing that with big swing trades, but for scalping, it's very difficult because those little ticks matter. So I don't know. I feel like that will be good for swing trading, but not necessarily good for scalping because your profits are so small anyways. If you guys just joined the channel, I'm Buy by Money. Welcome. Thanks for joining the stream. As you can see, the market is absolutely looks like vomit, and it's just it makes me want to vomit. It looks terrible right now, and we have no true movement here. It's just going back and forth. And the reason being, pandas, is because tomorrow we have the FOMC. Actually, the real reason is because today is the last day for BBM 80% off your Apex. So the market is going to try to bust all your accounts today. It's going to go choppy for a long time. It's going to trick you many times so you can bust all your accounts. But because today is the last day, you can use the promo BBM 80. That's why it's doing that. So that's the real reason. But, you know, for the secondary reason, tomorrow is FOMC day. What does that mean? Why am I stressing that? Well, one thing is because it most likely might be some sort of trading range day today because the market's waiting for tomorrow. And really, it's moving. Just looking at the first couple bars here, it just looks very slow here. Very choppy. The reason why everyone's on pins and needles right now and waiting for tomorrow is because FOMC announcement is not only FOMC, but it's accompanied by the Fed funds rate. And man, Jerome Powell is really trying to balance the market on a needle, a needle point type balance. He has an impossible task. The poison for the cure for one symptom is, the cure for one symptom is poison for another. And that's kind of the situation he's in. What do I mean by that? It's because not only are they trying to fight inflation, but they're also trying to prevent the market from imploding. And so the cure for inflation is the poison for the markets imploding. And it's poison for the markets. It's going to make it crash. So they're in a very tough spot. And right now, the FOMC, they're projecting a 76% chance that they're going to have a 0.25 point raise. There's a 0% chance, looks like, for a half a point raise. And there is a slight chance it might be a 0-point raise. I think, wow, we got a trap trade here with a super small signal bar, but I'm not interested in this trap here. I feel like we have a breakup trend and maybe even new low. In fact, anything just looks like a trading range that had a failed breakdown and may come back in. So I might trade a failed trap here to come back up into this trading range if it does trigger. That's probably what I'm more interested in at this point. And you also have a breakup trend, something like this, some breakup trend here to new low. In fact, that new low created basically breaks this bigger trend, and we might look for a new high on this big trend. What's happening here? Ooh, that's tricky because it does trigger and then already
10,000 tick trap.
It breaks on itself. Very interesting. Very strange. It's too tricky. I'm gonna stay away from this market actually. As we're going in and out of the 20 MA, it's very confusing. The one thing you can maybe consider doing is failed breakdowns and breakouts here. So that was a little awkward because it broke beneath and then in itself it broke its own signal bar, right? Because this became the signal bar, broke beneath, and it broke above its own signal bar. It was a little strange, but basically tomorrow, Jerome Powell, or they will raise the Fed funds rate, most likely 0.25 as they've been doing for a little bit, and the market is probably already expecting that. The thing that the market doesn't know is what Jerome Powell is going to say, and I think what's going to happen is Jerome Powell is going to announce, right? And they're going to basically give their future predictions on where they think the interest rate needs to land. And depending on that, I think the market will make a substantial move based on what Jerome Powell will say. There's like three kind of options. Like they can just stay at that 5.25 or the 5% target interest rate, or they can raise that target to 5.5 or 6, which could make the market just plummet, or they can lower it and say, we may pause and start to pivot, and that will make the market just explode to the upside. That's what it feels like might happen, and this is the environment that we're currently trading in, sadly. But what does the price action say? The daily chart says the price action, according to the price action, looks like it's a failed second entry short, coming after a breakout retest with a breakout trend to new low, and breakout retest as a breakout of this big channel here, retesting it, bouncing off of it. So you got to break, and you also got to break a trend to new low, which on the weekly chart is just a two-legged move. If you look at the weekly chart, just a two-legged move off the bottom of the trading range, may come back to the top of the trading range. And you can see there's a weekly gap here as well, and that coincides with this daily chart blue line. There's a gap on the daily chart, right? This is gap here is on the daily chart and on the weekly chart. So, interesting times. And tomorrow really can. Jerome Powell has so much power. I don't know if he's nervous or if he loves the power. but he really can move the markets with whatever he says. He has the power to do that, and it's a scary place to be in. Scary place to be in when one person has that much power over the markets. Absolutely incredible. It's a scary place. Price action seems to suggest we're going to go higher. That's what I'm thinking. That's what it looks like. Especially if today we end on like a bull bar above the 20 MA on the daily chart. The Fed funds rate, whatever it says, the price action seems to just suggest that we're going to shoot higher. So whatever happens, whatever Jerome Powell says, it looks like it's going to go higher. That's just what it seems like to me. And it's not financial advice. It's just how I'm interpreting the market. So. Bill says, good morning. Scalp that like button. Appreciate it. It's pretty wild. The people who are in control of the economy, like the world economy, is resting in the hands of this, FOMC committee. And it's like, do they know what they're doing? I don't know. Did they know what they're doing in 2008 financial crisis? I don't know. Like, it just seems like they're just kind of like, this seems like a good rate. Like I feel like I like this rate. I don't know. This seems kind of almost arbitrary. That's why they say economy is an art, not a science. No setup here for us. Actually, what did happen was the failed trap here. And I was thinking about going long here, but it's just too choppy. I'm just going to stay away from this chart altogether. Very, very scary to trade this. Maybe looking for a new high here, testing these highs. Wouldn't be surprised. Regardless, too choppy, right? Too many cuts through the 20 EMA. It's going in and out of it. What can you do? Just gotta let it go, no matter what happens here. By the way, tomorrow the news will be at 2 o'clock. In sad news, I really don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, but I will not be streaming tomorrow. I'll be back on Thursday, but tomorrow I won't be streaming. I have an engagement in the morning, so I will not be available. So unfortunately, sorry guys. I know you guys are gonna start crying and fall into deep depression, but pandas, I'll be back Thursday. Just hold on. I'll be there. And Thursday we'll definitely be talking about, the markets and FOMC and see what happens. By the way, I'm not an economist and I did not study econ. Everything that I've learned has come from basically from YouTube and just and my several years just looking at the markets. There's a saying that you never go against, and it's called "Do not fight the Fed." Don't fight the Fed. If the Fed says they're raising interest rates, don't fight the Fed. If the Fed starts to ease, right, as in like they start printing more money, then Free Paper Guys, stream the news. Maybe I might do afternoon stream actually. Could be wild. It could be wild. I will say maybe I will, and I'll just pass this eval off that news. Maybe I'll do it so I can actually trade during the news and just pass this eval. It'll be a 50-50 chance. $50-50 chance or trade for next several weeks to try to get this up to the profit target of 20,000. You know, you choose. You can do it in one day, pass this account in one day with a 50-50 chance, or you can spend several weeks to try to trade this account up, which is easier, definitely the 50-50. Which is like the one that's more beneficial? Definitely the, you know, trading it properly until. But hey, if the point for you is just to get the PA count, then who cares? But if you're learning, practicing, and want to build good habits, that's the whole point of this for you in terms of evals, then please do so. Please do so. DJ Rocket Man, I'm gonna straight up just ban you. Like, why would you come and just shill this guy, never saying anything? I'm putting you in timeout. I've DJ Rockman has said comments before, and they're not good. Who does that? Who does that? So we did make a new high. So like I mentioned, this break of trend on this bigger trend had a break of trend, and this break of trend made a break of trend to new low, finishing this move, and then we're continuing our uptrend by making a new high here. And that's kind of what I predicted would happen. It's just I didn't want to trade any of this because the price action was too choppy and potentially could have chopped around longer. But I did call this, you know, I did call that this was going to happen. What can I say? Just no setup, and the price action was just terrible for me to even consider trading. Setups of anything to help you with timing. If you don't get that timing right, then you know, you could get the premise right, but the timing's wrong, it's a bad trade. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how good your premise is. If your timing's wrong and you get stopped out, it doesn't matter. It's a bad trade. Vanity coming in with an ignorant comment saying this guy's still losing every day, even though you can see in the top left of the screen I'm profitable right now. Absolutely incredible ignorant statement. It's just amazing people like this exist. I lost a trade for 1 point here, and comes in says I lose every day when I'm actually profitable on this account. It's just the most ignorant thing. Like, if I'm losing every day, how am I profitable? It doesn't make sense. It's just ignorant to the max. But hey, everyone, look at Vanity. Just look at this guy and just kind of know how ignorant he is. I just want everyone to know the ignorance of this guy. So thank you for the comment. Thank you for letting us all know how ignorant you are. It really is nice to be able to see that. Pandas, make sure you guys scalp that like button. What is going on here? Vanity, at least you can scalp that like button. Do appreciate it. We got trapped here, but a new high is already made here, and I'm not sure. I mean, this looks like a strong uptrend. I mean, we've been going up for a long time, and the problem is that we do have a break of trend new high. Am I looking for a reversal? Not necessarily, but am I looking for a long trade? It's just too hard to tell, right? I would be able to tell if we get another push up here where we can extend and make this, you know, channel even larger, but geez. Tough. Potential second entry long here. Push down. Now we're beneath the 20 MA. And trading range indicator still giving us a trading range here. Trading range indicator is almost on every time frame. 10,000 tick chart. We got a trading range as well. 5-minute chart, trading range as well. So this is a trading range almost on every time frame right now. This trap trade, probably the best trap trade of today if we get one. This is probably the best one. It's a super small signal bar. It's an inside bar. And it does not trigger the second entry long. It misses it by 1 tick to create the second entry long so we can trade a trap here. But this is probably the best setup here so far today if we do get it. We're looking for a trap to trigger. So we need a second entry long to trigger first. And once that triggers, then we can trade the trap trade here. And we'll attempt it. I'll attempt it here. I attempted it here and skunked my trade. It does touch my target, but ends up reversing. I just skunk it. We may not get our setup. It might go without us, unfortunately, right? It misses it by 1 tick. And it doesn't actually give us a setup here. You know, even though we can call the premise here, saying that most likely push down, it didn't trigger the second entry long. It missed it again by 1 tick. So we missed this move down. We missed that scalp because it didn't give us our setup off 1 tick here. What I needed it to do was an A, B, C, decent push down. And we needed to tick above at least 1 tick so the reversal we can enter in with a trap. But the market doesn't give us the second entry long. Instead, it gives us a micro double top here and then reverses without us. So it is what it is. You can only take what the market gives you, and the market doesn't give you anything. Just there's nothing to take. Vanity, I don't know what this guy is talking about. I'm very confused about this guy. But just more nonsense coming out of his mouth. I don't know. I don't know what this guy's talking about or what he's on. So we're getting pushed down. 20 EMA on a 10,000 tick chart. Touched for about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. About more than 40 bars. First touch of the 20 MA. 5-minute chart. Just choppy. Floating in midair. Do I think downtrend? Maybe. Maybe, but hard to say. By the way, pandas. I really don't hide anything. I mean, I have a pre-market show that I go over. Talking about ICT. This guy is going around and hates all the YouTube traders. It just seems like this guy. I mean, I don't know anything about ICT, Algobox, like whatever these other YouTubers do. Like, no idea. But yeah, I would say at least for on this channel, we have a pre-market show that people can join. They can see all my trades, they can see all my account balances, they can see all my accounts, and nothing's hidden. Oh, ICT created a propulsion block, got it. Yeah, man, I was like, never claimed that I traded 27 years. I have no idea where that came from. All right, we got a trap trade here. I'm not interested. I feel like the trap already happened here. So I'm going to skip it if it does trigger here and just let it go without me. It's all good. Plus, you're on support on the 10K chart off the 20 MA. So I'm not necessarily looking for a short trade here. But second entry short, I don't know. I mean, you got to consider this now. You got a downtrend working. And this is a first breaker trend here. Maybe looking for a new low, but the new low, I think, has to come with at least coming off our trend line. Sorry, the 20 MA. So what we're gonna wait for is an A, B, C. Okay, we got the second entry short forming here, potentially. Maybe looking for that new low after this push down. Second entry short here on this small little downtrend. Oh, it's risky. It's risky, truly risky. I needed to get to the 20 MA. I need you to at least get kind of close. Closer than that, and I need a decent signal bar. Okay, I think that's close enough. Give me a decent signal bar, and I'll bite. I'll bite here. Give me a decent signal bar, I'll bite. Again, the only problem is now the 10,000 tick chart is off a nice support here. And this might bite me in the tail. Give me a decent signal bar here. This is kind of what I want. I'm going to attach my order to this super signal, and depending on how this candle forms, I might need it to move for me. It looks like a strong bull bar. Okay, so you're not taking that trade right now. You're thinking something else is happening. Strong bull bar closing above the 20 MA. You can't take the second entry short because it's now clearly above the 20 MA. Terrible signal bar currently. Even if it's a good signal bar here, it's still above the 20 MA and hard to take a trade here. So I'm sitting on my pause. You're thinking break a trend to new low here, but even if that's the case, it's hard to take it on this setup. What you now need to wait for is a break a trend to new high. And I don't know, this might be an overshoot, who knows. At this point, it's a little too hard to go short at all though, in my opinion. Looks like trading range is going to continue, and the 10,000 tick chart does bounce off the 20 MA here quite nicely. First touch in about 40 plus bars. 5-minute chart, it says trading range just floating, right? Huge gap here. What can I say? The price action is, I mean, I like to see this, right? This is kind of like, oh, this gets me excited. I'm like, okay, we got some movement. Let me get a trade. I wish we could have got the trap here, but we never got it. Instead, now we got a second entry short, potentially. But now it looks too ugly. We're above the 20 MA. So it's like, it got me excited seeing this move. And I'm like, okay, now I'm going to, you know, my ears perk up, trying to find a good setup. And it's not giving us anything. So letting this one go, even though we still need a new low here, I'm going to let this one go because the setup is terrible. Second entry short almost makes a scalp. It doesn't perfect scalp, and still just a perfect scalp, so you could potentially be trapped here. Again, you can't take this trade. It's above the 20 MA. Okay, so you made an absolute scalp here, and you know, my premise may be right. Like, we may look for a new low here. The problem is that there was no setup to it. There might be a lower high opportunity here. I don't know if I like the lower high either. It's tough. It's tough. Lower high opportunity, maybe. Elon Musk gonna start a cryptocurrency. I'm not currently interested at all in crypto. The only thing I would be interested in is hodling Bitcoin. That's the only thing I'll be interested in right now, especially if the market's being so volatile. Like, it might actually work out as it was supposed to, which is like a store of value of some sort. In a, you know, especially when there's so much government control when it comes to the economy and financials. The whole reason for Bitcoin was to create a currency that is not dependent on, you know, some guys in a committee. What do I want to do here? I'm a bit confused. I'm looking for a short trade here, pandas. Overshoot, maybe lean to an undershoot. Looking for that new low. Lower high setup here. I like that signal bar. It's just really confusing for me. I'll try to trap trade to the downside. I might miss the move, but it's just too confusing. I'm just gonna let this one go. It could easily scalp out to the downside, but I'm just very confused. Basically, this confused me. This gap here. I wish we had the setup at a better place. That lower high does work out. Looking for that new low now. It was a bit confusing. I'm just sitting on my pause because, you know, it's a second entry short, but the first leg of the second short is above the 20 MA. I don't like to trade to enter setups that when the first leg is on the wrong side of, or any leg is on the wrong side of the 20 MA. I really don't like those setups. It makes me confused. We are making that new low. So like I mentioned, we broke trend, looking for that new low. So that's why I was looking for a second entry short. All right, I skipped this trade because it's too far away from 20 MA. Looking for that second entry short. It triggers above the 20 MA, so skipped it. Ends up being a small uptrend with an overshoot and leading to a reversal here and finally made that new low, right? Breaking this low here, retesting it. And what can I say? I called it. I almost called everything that was going to happen, but I just had no setups for me. I had potential setup here, but I would have been more interested in this setup. I think because in my mind, I felt like there was a better setup here, a failed second entry long, potential Pikachu trade. That's what I was looking for, and it didn't happen. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin has made quite a move in the last couple weeks. Definitely coming very far off this lows, and you know, about wow, it almost doubled. It almost doubled if you bought. If somehow miraculously you were able to time like the low, it almost doubled at that point. Creating a nice inverse head and shoulders on the daily chart on Bitcoin here, and gold also doing decently well, but we'll see. I got no setups here now. Maybe I'm looking for a long trade. I feel like this cycle's done, but we're so far beneath the 20 MA. It looks like a decent strong move down. Hard to say. I'm just drawing this trend line for a potential downtrend, but right now I see a breaker trend to new low. That's what I'm seeing here. And the 10,000 tick chart is actually setting up a really nice second entry long off the 20 MA. I mean, this is a really good looking setup, and it's the first touch off the 20 MA here, and it's creating a decent setup. It looks like on the 10,000 tick chart, and it looks like a good setup. But on the 2,000 tick chart, you got a potential, you know, channel here that might block you from really making that scalp that you need. But it looks like a good setup on the 10,000 tick potentially. I'll probably trade a failed second entry short in this area to coincide with a second entry long on the 10,000 tick. GC Berg says Bitcoin is more like gold than a currency. Real currencies have to be inflatable, otherwise people will hoard them. Interesting. Are you saying I can't print more gold? Just out of thin air? Or maybe not thin air, but from the hard ground? Thick ground? Second entry long, maybe on the 10,000 tick chart may trigger. I'm curious. Second entry long, 10,000 tick chart, but 2,000 tick chart potential resistance at this trend line kind of happened at the same time. What's gonna happen here? We're thinking hard. GC person, I want a 3D gold printer for Christmas. All right, let me know how that goes. I believe, I mean, you know, with chemistry, you can almost make any element, but the problem with making gold using chemistry is the material that you need in order to make gold costs more than gold itself. It's more rare than gold. So that's what I believe is true. I was taught that in school. So those who want to practice alchemy, it can happen. You can make gold out of a different element, but the element to make gold is more expensive than the gold itself. What's going on? Well, Pans, I don't know what's going on. The second entry long doesn't look as good anymore on the 10,000 tick. But if we get trap trade here, I may consider it. Gotta stick to all the rules, Pandas, and sticking to rules, the sucky thing about it is that oftentimes you miss some setups, that you miss some moves, let's say, in the market. Salvatore says, if you press hard enough on carbon, you might get a diamond. That's true. What's going on? Are we going to continue this downtrend? Is the question. We actually create an inside bar on the 10,000 tick chart. Whoa. 10,000 tick chart. I thought it was going to create the second entry long, but instead it does this kind of inside bar thing and breaking out to the downside. This might be a trap trade here. 20 may start to curl down a little bit on the 10,000 tick chart as well, as you can see. Now it's getting confusing. Now things are getting interesting. We actually triggered a second entry short, and it might be a trap. I did say that if it traps here, I'll consider it, but now you gotta stick to all the rules. The trap is going to trigger beneath the 20 May if it does trigger. And it's just not looking pretty. It's not looking pretty. What can I say here? I don't know what you guys are talking about right now, but this is it's kind of wild. Salvatore says, I've been squeezing a nugget of coal every day, but still no diamond, huh? Interesting. It's fascinating. Thank you. I mean, that's a kind of a content that we get here. The quality of the chat is just unmatched. Second entry long may happen on the 5-minute chart off the 20 MA, and 99.99999% chance we'll touch the 20 MA sooner or later today. It might not be now, it might not go straight down to it, but most likely we will touch it sometime today. Michael Chin, where you at? I have summoned Michael Chin. Only If I would love Michael Chin join this channel, popped his head in, you know, because obviously he has 2 hours before work that he can come and join the stream. Honestly, it's like people are asking in his comments, where have you been? What have you been doing? I mean, I think the answer is very obvious. Very obvious. I know exactly where he's been and why he's been gone. And I think it's honestly none of our business, regardless. Just let him be. And if he wants to make content again, let him make content. Who cares? People are like demanding answers from him, and it's just rude. It's just rude. He has no obligation to share anything with anyone. But it seems like he wants to answer questions. But honestly, he doesn't have to. 20 EMA on the 5-minute chart, about 2 points away. You're thinking it's going to touch it just because it's so close. Might as well. Sounds like relaxation says, I don't know why, now I'm curious. Everyone knows why. If you don't know, then you just don't know. If you watch his last video, it's quite nonsensical in my opinion, but he's just back. He's just back to making content. I don't know, and I love that. I love that. I find it entertaining no matter what. He is quite like an entertainer. I don't know what it is. It's just his face. His face is so entertaining. I don't know how I can say it any other way. The thing is, it's like Hugh says people are mad at him because he was discovered to be a fraud. I mean, the thing is, how many people have released two-legged pullback stuff? You know, how many people have basically just been doing second entry stuff? You know, like so many people out there now. And I guess the only problem is that he really didn't give credit to where he learned it from. But even if that's the case, it's like you could have learned it from so many things. And I don't know. I just feel like it's yeah, I don't know. I would say if it was like a carbon copy, like literally, he's like copy and pasting Mac's like manual and just selling it off as his own, I would say that, yeah. But if you make your own content and if you like digest it, pick it apart, and like, you know, really work at it to make it your own, then I just feel like that's I mean, maybe gray area, but I don't know. It's like if I release something, you know, talking about second entries and whatnot, I feel like, you know, there's nothing you can copyright about the second entry long. Just second entry long, maybe on the 5-minute chart may trigger here. Second entry long does trigger on the 10,000 tick chart, but it's way beneath the 20 MA. Right, you need it to be here, but if it's down here, hard to trade that. 5-minute chart almost touches the 20 MA, might create a second entry long here. What would you do if you run into Michael Chin in real life? I would rub his chin. That's the first thing you thought about? Cool. Nico Jazz says he made a carbon copy and sold it as his own. I don't think he did. I know he made like his own like kind of course called like Day One Trading or something like that, and Day One Traders, I'm not sure, something like that. And it was like content, videos, and different stuff. Different presentation at least. Whoa. Five-minute chart, so close to touching that 20 MA. Might create a second entry long here, but yeah, I don't know. I'm still respecting this trend line here because we're in a downtrend right now. We are in a downtrend. Second entry short, possibly here, but that will be going against the second entry long on the 5-minute chart. But we're so close to the 20 EMA on the 5-minute chart. I feel like even if the second entry long triggers on the 5-minute chart, as you can see, second entry long 5-minute chart, it may reverse and try to touch the 20 EMA. I don't know, or might have a strong pullback and get to touch the 20 EMA somewhere up here. Who knows? The price action feels like it's telling us that. It's just hard to say. Price action just looks uncertain. We may have a second entry short here, but again, it's going against the second entry long on the 5-minute. It is respecting our trend line and respecting the 20 EMA here. It's a terrible signal bar, but it's not large at all. Signal bar is so ugly, but it's so small. Like, I don't even mind risking that. Is that big of a deal to risk? Like, not even 2 points? Coming off our trend line, coming off the 20 MA.
10,000 tick trap.
Yeah, it's too late. It's too late for that. Let me come with a retracement here. Okay, come with a retracement. Small teeny risk here. Let me get stopped out here. Yeah, looks like it's gonna trap me, unfortunately. I was thinking 20 EMA, trend line, downtrend, and looks like it's gonna stop me out, unfortunately. It's all good. It stops me out. Just weird. Just weird. It's not like I really want to go long here either. It's just, man, it stops me out and comes back down. The risk was so small, I didn't mind risking that, but yeah, this price action is not it. You got your first second entry short here, a decent one, and it traps you out. And unfortunately, yeah, who knows? It is what it is. The price action, it's not it. I mean, you got a second entry short here. I mean, I guess a signal bar, you could say that's a dumb to enter in a signal bar that looks like this, but the risk was so small, didn't mind it. So, what can you do? You gotta take your chances sometime. It's a lower high setup here, but I already lost on this, so I don't know if I want to enter a lower high here. It's a lower high setup, coming off our trend line, also off the 20 MA here. Now it's a failed trap. Decent setup maybe. I'm a little shell-shocked from losing this. I don't know if I have the confidence to enter this short trade here. Scared to lose another trade. My psyche is not really there.
5-minute trap.
It's good. If it goes back up, do I even want to be in this trade? Sure. It's a nice
5-minute trap.
bar here. Five-minute trap. Trap on the 5-minute triggers. Coming down to the 20 MA. 5-minute trap, as you can see. Almost want to enter that trade, but the risk is quite large on the 5-minute chart. Fortunately. Darn. It's tough. Tough day. I mean, I already lost this trade, so I didn't feel confident entering another trade right afterwards. Even though the premise is still good. Man, you lose that by one single tick. Super annoying, super frustrating. But what can you do? What can you do? It is what it is. And finally makes a move off the trap on the 5-minute chart. Almost touching the 20 MA. So close. Tricky day. I mean, that second entry short. Trap fails. Better setup here, but at this point, I'm already like... my mental capital is not really there. I'm not sure if I was ready for that. I did not anticipate a failed trap to enter, so once it triggered, just was not ready for it. Yeah, tough day. Tough day. I mean, even this trade here, entering long, okay trade to go long, thinking, okay, and I'll reverse it, and both ends up being a triple trap here, and now a double trap here, so, yeah, it is what it is. It's unfortunate. Tough day. Tough day for me. What can you do? It is what it is. Finally getting a second entry short. How annoying is that? The first second entry short that kind of appears at a nice key area, the trend line plus the 20 EMA. The only bad part is the signal bar is bullish, but you're thinking it's so small, you don't mind losing it. And I'm down 687, but you gotta remember I'm trading 5 contracts, so that's less than 3 points of loss on trading. So it's okay. Relatively, not too bad. Not too bad, relatively. Michael Cheek asks, can PA counts be reset, and is it unlimited resets? No, PA counts cannot be reset. That's why you trade them much more conservatively. Whereas evals, you can reset them whenever you want. So you can be a little more aggressive. This is I'm trading 5 contracts right now. Got a potential fail trap, and notice something interesting happening here on the 5-minute chart is that when we're coming down here, actually we didn't yet touch the 20 MA. But what happened is we made a wick long enough, and now we pull back high enough that 20 MA actually went up to the wick. So we technically touched the 20 MA now, as long as we close near here. So a failed trap on the 5-minute chart. You see the 5-minute chart, it creates a trap, and it just failed, right, creating a outside bar right here. It's very confusing, and I'm just sitting on my pause right now. Failed trap on the 10,000 tick chart as well. This is kind of what you expected on a day like this. The day before FOMC with huge announcements such as the Fed funds rate. And also, Jerome Powell probably going to announce their target interest rate that they're trying to achieve in order to combat inflation while not tearing apart the system. And the thing is, the system already broke down. You know, the dominoes have already been pushed, and you know, there's almost nothing you can stop these financial institutions from just imploding because, you know, so many of them probably bought these terrible treasuries, and now when it comes to it, they're insolvent. And, you know, they don't have the money for the people. They don't have money for these people who want to withdraw. So what can you do? But now the government's bailing them out, but at the same time lowering interest rates. It's just a weird concoction of things that they're trying to do to manipulate this market. So trying to create this so-called soft landing, no recession, but yield curves have already inverted, and I believe they de-inverted. I'm not sure, but it's just almost inevitable and imminent, it seems like. I'm not 100% sure how all the inner workings of you know, why Silicon Valley Bank, you know, Credit Suisse, while these banks kind of all failed. My very simple understanding is that they had their funds tied up in these, you know, these longer term bonds, and if they were to take the money out now, they would be such a loss that that they cannot actually pull the money out. And the thing is that, you know, if people are asking for their money, but they're all tied up in these, you know, these investments, then they're insolvent. They cannot give the money back. This is my very simple understanding of what happened, but I am not 100% sure. So I'm gonna explain it better then. Makachi says, when does your 300k eval end? It ends when I end it. We're gonna pass it. I purchased this eval with the 80/80, so I don't mind paying, you know, whatever the fee is every month for it. Just because also, you know, we're trading on stream, so it's worth it for me. It's we call it an investment. Oh, when is news? I don't know. I believe maybe beginning of the month. I forget. Sounds like realization. If you're 50% into passing, no, it only resets. So if you guys don't know, Apex evals, they reset your account for free if you bust it and you pay a renewal. So that's a really nice perk, especially if you have a eval that is 80% off and is cheaper than resetting it. So every month you can reset it and at a cheaper rate than the actual reset cost if you do bust your accounts. For instance, I think most of them are cheaper at the 80% off. So I think when it gets to the maybe the 300k one, I forget, but for most of them it's just cheaper to let the renewal happen. That's why it's nice that you can just purchase new evals as many as you want while this code is still while you can still use this promo, because it's just cheaper than resetting. So you're kind of in this nice situation where, you know, especially if you're a little more aggressive trader, this is like a perfect situation for you. I want to trap trade here. I kind of want to trap trade here. Let's see if we get a trap trade here in this area, and I may be interested in going long. Don't know what's happening here. It seems like we got a nice little bounce off of the 20 MA though on the 5-minute chart. It just taps the 20 MA. 20 MA is still rising up, pointing upwards. 10,000 tick chart. We're kind of going in and out of it at this point. Bottom of trading range potentially. Hey. Give me something. Trap trade here will be sus because if you have a channel working up here, you're at the top of the channel, so you'll be essentially trying to trade a breakout. Also, trading range indicator telling us that we've been choppy here, so we may potentially be at the top of a trading range. Regardless, no setup here because of micro double bottom, and it's far away from 20 MA, so you just cannot take a trade here, in my opinion. You can, but it's risky, very risky. Like, if you go long here, you're thinking, man, this is really going to explode to the upside and it's worth the risk. And when I say risky, I mean low probability. I should use that terminology. It's low probability. Risky is more like, well, I guess you're including risk. You know, it's too much risk versus risky. Yeah. I guess risky is meaning really more of maybe both. Bad probability with the risk you're willing to take. Let's just say that. I don't know. Just ranting here. What's going on? I don't know. What a market. I mean, finally got a second entry short here, and it stops you up by one teeny tick, and then it goes the way you want it to, unfortunately. And it is what it is. I just was not expecting a failed trap here. And what can you do? Gotta enter short when you feel like it's time. Bad signal bar though, so you do have some things going against you. It's just a bad signal bar, but the signal bar is small, so didn't feel too terrible taking that trade. Don't feel too terrible losing that trade. Oh boy, 4 overlapping bars in a row. All right, pandas. I'm not sure much more what's going to happen here. What's the fees on minis? It's about, I believe, $1 round trip. I could be wrong. I think it's about $1, maybe a little bit. It's a little bit more than $1. Proportionally, it's worse than the emini ratio-wise. Pandas, hey, before I leave, I want to let you guys know a couple of things. Tomorrow, I will not be streaming. In the morning, I may jump on a stream during FOMC, and I may pass this account trading the FOMC. Who knows? At 2 o'clock. I mean, it's gonna get wild. And that also being said, tomorrow is Fed funds rate and FOMC meeting. So during the day, it might get choppy for a long time until you finally hit the FOMC. But so be aware of that tomorrow, and that's the type of price action we may have. Not only that, today is the last day to use BBM 80. I would say stock up. If you're the type of person who wants to keep trading even after you pass or fail eval, this is a good time to stock up, because that means instead of you want a new eval after you bust or pass the current ones you have, then you have to purchase them at BBM 50 with 50% off. But if you stock up on a couple, then you can you have had purchased them at 80% off, the new ones. So hopefully you guys take advantage of that while you still can. But whatever fits your style, it is what it is. Pandas, that being said, maybe I'll see you guys tomorrow. Make sure you guys sub and hit that bell notification icon so you know if I am streaming tomorrow during FOMC or not. And with that being said, pandas, trade safe, everybody. Really trade safe. And yeah. And as always, happy trading. God bless. Bye.